Well, I guess today will be, let's see if we can get this radiator situated. Alright, well, let's try this again. Got a little ahead of everybody here. So, I guess today we're going to put this, see if we can get this radiator fan shroud situated. So I already worked on this thing this morning. I got the radiator up here, and I was trying to film it, but my battery went dead, and so as it was charging, I was fixing this thing and setting it up. So anyways, there's the fan hub, all the stuff I built for this fan to go onto this Cummins. So that's in. So now what I need to do is, it's still a long ways from the radiator. So I'm using the factory New Holland radiator fan shroud, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, it came out to 4 inches in here, 4 inches of extension on that fan shroud, and I'm going to build a box, 4-inch extension, or a 4-inch box around this thing to set that fan shroud in here. So that is what I'm doing. I got all the pieces cut to make it. I did not have enough to make another square that I did before. So basically I got this. Got my this one here. Which I cut out before. And then I got these pieces here. That'll make the other end of the box, or the other end. And then I got my 4-inch pieces of metal cut that I am going to weld into a box. So right now I just need to finish getting those pieces cut to size to form the box, and then we can move on here. So I'm going to set this all up and get to welding her together. Alright, well, I got the box tacked together. So it's going to look like. So I guess we'll get her welded together here. I just put it on there to make sure everything was going to work out. It's right where it needs to be. So we're going to weld it on and be done with this project. Alright, I'll be back with you. Alright, well, I got her all stuck together. So get it back on the radiator and figure out where the holes need to be for the fan shroud itself, and this part will be done. So there that is. For the next project on the list, I guess we'll do finish the hood support. I got the back done, so we'll get the front done. But anyways, there's the fan shroud extension. Alright, everybody, there it is. Holes are drilled, fan shroud's in. So might not need. I probably could have went with like a 3-inch piece in there instead of a 4, but oh well, it's 4. It should work just fine. So anyways, there it is. Now I guess we will put this hood up here and I'll see what we got. Still need to make a water line, get the water line hooked up for the bottom here and the top. I think I just get a hose for the top. I think it's, oh, it's not. It's bigger on the engine than it is on the radiator. The bottom looks the same. So anyways, that radiator needs to go in and get cleaned out. It's full of rust and stuff off the other engine. It was rusty as heck inside it. So, but I'll get the crane pulled over here and we'll pick this hood up, set it up there, and see what we can do, get the front mounts made. So that's where we're at right now. So anyways, we'll get this going. Alright everybody, this is what we're dealing with. I gotta do something with the front of this thing here, this frame. It dropped quite a bit when I took that off, so it's got to go back up like that, I guess, somewhere. But as you can see, it's right in the wrong spot. So how do we get around that is the question. Well, I could go off them bolts off the front of that engine and come up. That might be an option. Only problem is that air cleaner sits in there. Well, I'm gonna have to do some thinking on this one. See what I'm gonna do here. I didn't really want to cut this thing, but it's almost looking like I'm gonna have to. It's either that I gotta build this whole frame. It bolts up here, but I'd have to build this whole frame. And I don't know if I really feel like building all that. I just cut it off and weld to it. So anyways, I'll do some thinking here. Get back with you. Well, we got the hood support mounted. The hood is holding itself up by itself. So anyways, come to conclusion, we're not going to be able to use the air cleaner for the New Holland because it's too close to here. And it just isn't going to work. It hits my fan shroud, so I have to remodify the fan shroud to get it to work. It does clear all this stuff right now. I did have to raise it up and up, and it just clears it. It's about like a ½ inch gap between here and the valve cover and the air cleaner. But the one major problem is, which is the most reasons why it won't go, is if I put it there, then this tractor won't have any air conditioning, and that is unacceptable. So, because the AC compressor's got to sit right here, and if the AC compressor don't sit right there, then there's no other place to put it. So that's the major reason why it won't go there. I wish it would have went there, but the engine is, I guess, just too tall for it. Well, it's not just too tall for it, it is too tall for it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna mount one back here, whether it be the one off this 8.3, or I could use that one and mount it back here onto this and then just 90 it into it. The 8.3 one is that big one right over there. It would stick out this side of the hood about 4 inches, I think. But not putting it up there with the hood on there now, I could see what it would look like in there, but it's going to stick out this side definitely. So the only thing that I got left to do with this hood is I think I need to shim it on this side and just rock it that way, because it seems to be low on this side than the other side. And I don't know if it's because that's the way it's hitting that. See the way that clamp or the latch hooks onto it, and it's all offset and it's holding that side up, or if it is actually leaning. I didn't get that straight, but it's got a gap on that side and no gap on this side. Granted, it's supposed to have rubber sealing deals around the bottom of that, so I don't know. So anyways, I think I need to cut these these off. Cut those off because they're right in against the fan. But I built that bracket and I went right to the engine with it, and then I welded it to that. I didn't really want to destroy this thing, but I guess we're going to destroy it anyways. So there's the hood mount. I think I'm done with the crane, because I don't think I'm going to lift that off there anymore. I'm going to cut those off and I'll paint that up with it sitting on the damn machine. I'll paint that with it sitting on the machine, and I think I'm done with this crane. So on that note, that's where we're at with it. So I guess I need to determine where all my stuff needs to go. About ready to hook everything up and see if it'll even start, which I'm sure it will. I need to replace this oil line, or this fitting on this oil line. I have no idea how that got broke off. So that needs to be replaced. I believe I can run the throttle over here. I think I might just take it off. I don't know, is this one stiffer or this one's kind of flimsy? I'll have to cut this off that we welded on here, because we had an electric actuator in here to run the throttle on this when it was a power pack. So I will cut this off, because I don't have another one. I'll cut this off and then I'll reuse this, and that throttle cable for this tractor, it should, I think it's long enough and everything, it should just go right in here and we should be able to run this. So actually I think this was moved up here. I think we moved it back here to get the cylinder actuator in there. So, but anyways, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna do some figuring here and figure out where I'm gonna put this air cleaner. So more to come on this one. But there's the bracket I made for the hood support on the front, and it is there. It ain't moving. So anyways, there we are. Back at you. Well, good morning. Today with the 140, I'm going to try to finish up the wiring, and I need to take that front mount off and cut those ears off of there and see if I can drop that down a little bit. Maybe it'll make them holes a little bit bigger on the engine. I have to wire the solenoid for the fuel, run a starter wire around to the starter solenoid wire. I need to go get some fittings, because these are, I thought these were Boss O-ring, but they're not. They're, I believe, straight thread, pipe thread with an O-ring, I believe. I'm not sure. Anyways, some goopy thing. So I need to go get that. I need to get a rubber 90, 4-inch 90 for this air cleaner. They didn't have one the other day when I went to go get the stuff for it, so he said it'll be in, should have been in late yesterday, so I'll get it today. And we're just going to come right out of the turbo and 90 her right into there, and that's where she's going to sit, and then I'll have to figure out what to do with the intake on that up there. So I got that. I was going to use the alternator off the New Holland, but mount's different. Imagine that. So I got to look and I go, well, heck, this all day has got the same plug, so I need to take this off and plug into right there. And then run a power lead from here to the starter for charging, you know. Get the exhaust. We just got a lot of stuff to do still, but you know, it's wiring and getting this stuff all routed in the right way. That's kind of a pain. So, but the more time you take with it, the better you are, because it'll look nicer in the end. So anyways, that's where we're at. So I am gonna get to working on this thing, and I'll be right back with you, I guess. Maybe you will see me, maybe you won't. I just don't know. So anyways, that's where we're at. Well, another day. So I guess I think today is gonna be the day. She's gonna have to move. So I got everything pretty much hooked up here. I got the new drive line in, or drive shaft, I guess. Not really drive line because there's not much to do there. So anyways, I got the machined drive line in, bolted up. I need to put the yoke on it and then run the U-joints in between here and here. So I got that. Hook the alternator back up here. I've been messing with it, trying to figure out what the heck. I had a ground issue. I couldn't get it to do anything. No power. So I messed with it and messed with it. Finally, I think maybe I got it. So anyways, so another weird note. So this here is the belt off that engine. The problem is I don't understand, but I can't put that belt back on this engine, which don't make any sense. And I don't know of any other way to route that belt. I mean, it goes down around the crank, up to the fan, around the water pump, to the alternator, and across to the fan again. Any other way, it just gets shorter, but it was too short. I couldn't get it on there. So I went to parts store and got me another belt, which was too short still. So then I measured it. They didn't have what I needed. So I opted for one. This one's 62 and 5/8 inches long, and I needed one like 63 inches long. Anyways, I don't know of any other way to put that belt. I mean, to me, that's the only way that belt's going to go on there. So, I don't know. I forced this one on here. So, and it just barely clears. But it clears. So, anyways. So, I am going to get this drive line on here. I have the oil lines all plumbed up here to get to the oil cooler. So, I need to put the oil cooler on. Hook the lines up down here on this end. And hook the drive lines up, and this thing, I'm hoping it'll start up and run and move. So we will see what we got here. So I have it full of water and oil and all the good stuff, you know. So anyways, let me get the drive lines in and the oil cooler on, and we'll see what we got here. All right. Well, I got the drive lines hooked up. All the hoses, hydraulic hoses are hooked up. I was hoping not to have to break the AC lines, but it's just not gonna reach the way she's going. So I'm gonna have to break them so I can get this air conditioner condenser and stuff out of my way, or at least get it mounted and figure out what I need for hoses. I'm probably just gonna splice into them. I'm not gonna tear them completely out, because that requires all the way to the top of the roof, and I'm not doing that. I just don't. No, but you know, it's not. Yeah, I've had enough fun with this thing. So, anyways, I'm pulling the Freon out of it right now, and I am going to break some AC lines and pick up some stuff, and we'll see what this thing's got, if it's even going to want to move. Oh, I need to tighten down on the screw the hydrostat pump release down back in so it'll actually work, because you have to screw them out if you're going to drag it around, or you'll screw a bunch of stuff up. So anyways, I'm going to let this pull us out, and then I'm going to see if we'll fire it up and see what we got, or attempt to fire it up. Anyways, there we go. Well, it's been a long wait and a lot of work, but I think it's finally ready to move. So I guess we'll move it out of its hole here, if it'll move, and start. And see if it all works. I think the first thing I tried to pull the lines off of the AC compressor, but this line here does not, it wants to come off, but it feels like it's trying to pull threads. And I really don't feel like messing with this compressor, so I'm just gonna set it up in here out of the way so it can't get against anything. Something like that, I guess, for right now. Put it up there like that. But we'll see if this thing wants to start. And then we'll do a walk around and see if we got how many hydraulic leaks we have. Which there should only be none, you know, 0. So I guess let's see. Power. Well, it's running. The idle's a little low on it. this. Now knocky knock knock.
So what the knock was is I fixed it, finally got it to work. The problem is, look where I said the bearing was spinning. It was spinning in the housing and it was loose, so when you put it in a turn like that, that much slop in that bearing caused it to knock. So I replaced that bearing housing and bearing, and that tightened it up, and that solved the problem. So, but anyways, this is about where I'm going to leave you on this end of this video here. So hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you when we finish this thing up. I've got to build the back of the hood a little bit and mount the AC compressor. So, and then this tractor will be done. So I will get back to you guys on another video. Thanks for watching.
Well, I got a rattle when you put it in a hard bend. I thought maybe it's because the driveline's hitting, basically knuckling itself out, but because as you can see, that thing is not straight up and straight across like it was, because that shaft that's coming off the engine's going downhill. So I don't know what to do there. But on the other side, it moved. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, Jesus criminy. It's not sitting where it came from, or where it was sitting. So I'd say that's a plus, right? So anyways, I guess I'll figure out what to do there. So the things that are left to do on this is I need to build something to put over the top of all this stuff. Get that air conditioner compressor mounted in there. Figure out what I'm going to do with that rattle, because that's probably going to knock something out. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. So let me do some thinking here, and I'll be back with you guys.